I can't believe I'm ready to say this, but I really am. Morning everyone, Ray from Hike-ALOT. Hey, a couple months ago I went through and I did a review on this Sunblesa headlamp, which you guys have seen probably just poured all over everyone's thread because it seems like everyone right now is doing a review on this thing. And I went through and I paired it back to the Nitecore NU25, which most of us, this is what we carry. This is kind of that standard that's out there. Found this one to be a little bit lighter, found this one to have way better battery length, but they were the same price. I was pretty hard on this device. And to their credit, the company was very upfront and very open, thanking me for my honest review, which is what I'm always striving to give everyone. And then a couple of weeks ago, they reached back out to me and asked me if I would be willing to try out their second gen devices and then do the same comparison. And they sent me 2 of their Gen 2 devices. I could tell them apart because this one has the green cap on it where the other one has a black cap. So I compared this Gen 2 to the Gen 1. Also the Nitecore NU25, and I threw in Old Faithful, the Black Diamond Revolt. Just figured that'd be a good four light comparison, and was really surprised by the results. So stick around. Okay, so right out the gate, let's do a little weight testing here. Come in here with the Black Diamond Revolt, and this one's going to be the heaviest of all. So we're at 3.67 ounces. Coming in on the Nitecore NU25, which I've done nothing whatsoever to lighten this up. This is going to be 1.98 ounces. And then when I initially reviewed the Sunblesa Gen 1, this was a bit lighter. It's about 1/3 of an ounce here. Let's see. Get it all up on the plate. All right, so we're at 1.69 ounces. So lighter than the Nitecore. That was the Gen 1. So let's see what the Gen 2 comes in at. 1.69 ounces. Okay, so this one's coming in actually lighter than the Nitecore, so this one definitely gets the leg up on that. And one thing that I did notice from the Gen 1 to the Gen 2, on the Gen 1 you had this kind of non-slip stripping on the back of the headlamp, on the back of the strap, just like the Nitecore had. Although I did notice it's not on the Gen 2 Sunblesa headlamp. Not a big deal. It's not something that means a whole lot to me, but just one little difference that I did notice when I was unboxing it. So let's run out real quick and we'll do some testing on the battery life and see what we get. Our test. And this is our layout we're going to use here. So I've got the Black Diamond Revolt, Nitecore NU25. I've got the Sunblesa H11. This is the Gen 1. Now I have actually 2 of the Sunblesa H11 Gen 2 headlamps. So we're going to fire all these up and just see how they last. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so not surprisingly at all, the very first generation of the Sunblesa device was the first one to die, and it died right around, and I had all these set on high. Tried to make sure that I was comparable on my output. This one died around the just under 7 hour mark. So there's no surprise there. Coming in far ahead of the Sunblesa Gen 1 was the Black Diamond Revolt. This one was around 11 hours and 15 minutes, somewhere in that neighborhood. Like I said, it's a big, blocky, bulky. I think it runs on 2 or either 3 AAA batteries back here that are rechargeable. So no surprise in that one coming in considerably further beyond that. What surprised me the most? The Gen 2 outlasted the Nitecore. I didn't believe it the first time I did it, so I made sure everything was dead. I completely recharged everything, did it again to double check my numbers, because quite honestly I was surprised. I really and truly did not believe that this one was going to outlive this one. The Nitecore NU25, I was right at about 12 hours for the output with it on high. Whereas the new Sunblesa Gen 2, I was dead on 14 hours. And they actually sent me 2 of these, and so I had 2 of them running kind of in parallel, and they were both in lockstep. They were right at 14 hours. Now, where the difference seemed to come in, whereas the Nitecore held at a steady, very high beam up until about the 11 hour mark, and then it started to dim down. And so it dimmed over the course of that next hour until it went completely out. The Sunblesa, it dimmed right around the 8-hour mark. So I had about 6 hours of it running at a lower light output, which is perfectly fine to me. That gives me plenty ample time to know that, hey, I'm starting to lose my light. My battery's starting to go down. I need to get it recharged. I didn't mind that one bit whatsoever, but I do know that earlier dimming feature is probably what helped push it above and beyond that. But I mean, when the numbers came down to it, I had 2 hours of extra output than I did with my Nitecore NU25. So shockingly enough, this is going to come out of my rotation on my back. I'm still going to use it. I still love this light. I've got multiple bags that I carry for different things. I'm still going to be using this light, but this one's probably going to get the nod. So much so that I went ahead and took the plunge and took the second one and added that really over-the-top, ultra-light, just shock cord strap on the back of it, which now makes the weight a whopping 1.34 ounces. So now this one will officially go into my bag for my overnight backpacking. And these others will stay in the rotation for bags that I use for shorter trips. I don't like to swap a lot of stuff back and forth from one bag to the next, so things that are a little bit heavier, I don't mind for shorter trips. And then I've got other stuff that I kind of run the rotation just around the house, but I'll definitely still be using all of these. I was actually still using the Gen 1 on an almost daily basis, because if I'm running around the house and it dies, it's not that big of a deal. And surprisingly enough, I'm a convert. Now this thing may fall apart, 2 weeks from now at a very inopportune time. And if it does, I'll be absolutely back here to let you guys know it fell apart. But as of right now, I'm cautiously optimistic. It's lighter, and right this moment, it's cheaper. I looked on Amazon, and the current Gen 2 device they've got there is about $35, and the new Nitecore NU25 is right at $39. Now it does have, now this is not the newest one. The newest one's a little bit different. This is like the model before that. The newest one goes up to 400 lumens, where this Gen 2 Sunblesa is a 365 lumens. So you're paying about $4 for those extra 35 lumens. And I do not know if the NU25, the newer one, has a longer battery life in it. It may, but right this minute, of the ones I've got, this one's getting the nod. I'm a convert, surprisingly so. So everyone keep their fingers crossed. Okay, so just a quick tour in case you didn't see the other video. You've got a USB charging point on the bottom here. This is not the C style, it is the old style, but that's not a big deal. Nice deep tilt to it. So 2 buttons across the top. First one right here on the right is going to turn on light here, off. If you do it twice, it goes to medium. Again, it's going to take you to high, back off. And if you go to the left side over here, now I'm going to get that sort of floodlight look. One more with it. There's a red. So a couple different options here on the lighting. It does look like one button up here at the top, but it is actually 2 distinct buttons. This band, nice and stretchy, very adjustable. I've been wearing the Gen 1 now for about 6 or 8 months pretty heavily, and no stretching issues. So I think the Gen 2 will be just as effective. So, okay guys, hopefully you found that beneficial. If you're in the market for a new headlamp, don't discount this just because it may be a brand that you've not heard of, because like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised with it. If you're out on the trail right now checking this video out, just remember, as always, left foot, right foot. Repeat, we'll see you out there soon.